Hey, what's up everybody? It's Adrian here. Welcome to this new episode. This is the kind of video that I wish I could have made back in 2017 when I was hitting the road on a daily basis, commuting between work, home, and just basically getting a lot of kilometers in on the road. So I guess it's finally happening. I finally have the chance to do that now. And I would like to take this chance to discuss a few of the topics that seem to be flying under the radar of most people nowadays. So I had a lot of time to self-reflect and develop my sense of purpose, I guess, and understanding that part of us that most people seem to avoid, which is called the shadow. I see a lot of people nowadays trying to avoid that in a way. They can't stand to sit with themselves, as opposed to what I did back then. And this is not about me. This is a universal thing. It's a recurring issue that I see everywhere. The thing is that most people seem to not be able to grasp on the idea of sitting with themselves. However, that's reality, right? Because you live with yourself. No matter how long you try to hide from your problems, from your issues, and from everything you actually want to get fixed, it's not gonna get fixed. When was the last time you just waited for a problem to get fixed and it got fixed? Never. You can't just sit around and expect everything to get better. You have to do it yourself. So coming back to the little story that I was telling you about my 2017 adventures, which was roughly when I started to initiate my journey on this path of self-discovery and to deeply comprehend myself a little better.
Because whatever I do, I'm responsible of that. I'm responsible of my own situation. I don't know how I do this, but I always end up attracting similar mindsets, similar people. It's impressive the amount of things you can take out of, a simple problem on your daily life. I guess this is what I should do with, in order to come up with original content. I mean, it's okay to get inspired by others, but I guess it's way better if you go deep down into yourself and search for that genuine content. I don't know, set goals, do plans and everything, but above everything, be prepared for whatever has to come. It feels like a fucking yin-yang. So perfectly balanced. It's like every time I feel in pain, every time I feel lost, there's one guy always comes to save me, Adrian Verland. That guy always comes to the rescue. He always comes from wherever he lives and he pulls me up again. He lifts me up right away.
I actively started to pay attention to those little details in our day-to-day lives. Those little bits of, conversations, details, the way that guy expressed himself, the way this girl is responding to this, the way I reacted in that situation. A little bit of everything. The way things happen, it matters. It matters and you can't stop them. That's the first thing you gotta acknowledge. You gotta let go of the external factors. You gotta let go of things that are not really under your control. However, while you can't control the rain or stuff like that, stuff that's outside of your reach, you can, however, decide how you react to those things. So that's what I'm working on. That's what everybody else should be working on. And I only know a few people who are actually devoted to that. So I would like to encourage you guys to just sit down with yourselves the same way I did. I think life throws those opportunities at you, whether you recognize them or not. A lot of people who always claim to be unlucky or unsuccessful or perpetually trapped in this state of, let's say, I never get anything done, I can never do anything, I'm always losing, you have constant opportunities flying right under your nose, constantly, non-stop. The difference between you and those people you call lucky or successful or, they're born with the, they've been touched by the grace of the gods or something like that. The difference between you and them is that those people choose to do something about those opportunities. They spot them, they pay attention, and they stay very vigilant about them. And when they find some, they get them. That's it. They don't wait for someone else to come save them because they know for a fact that that's not going to do anything for them. And I missed my exit. Shit, I'm so invested into this talk right now. Anyway, we'll catch it later. But like I'm saying, that's how I see a lot of people trapped within this loop of, let's say, addiction, constant failure. On Monday, they get up super excited and very brave and very courageous about whatever they're trying to achieve. And then by the time they get to the end of the week, they somehow find a reason to stop, just so they can do the same thing the next week. It's Monday again, fuck yeah, this week I got it. Then by the end of the week, they fail. They can't seem to keep a constant evolution, constant process, progress. They're incapable of committing to their own words. And that's the main issue that I see nowadays, that people seem to have this lack of self-accountability. They can't seem to grasp on the basic principles of energy, and it's just simple physics, you know, cause and effect and action, reaction, and all these things. Shit, pretty sunny out here. But yeah, like I'm saying, it's quite sad. It's pretty sad to see that, especially if these people are people you care about, if they're people in your family or friend circle. No matter how much you try to change them, it's not your job to change them. It's not your job to take them by the hand and walk them through life and everything else, especially if they're like way older than you, right? Because we might be talking about your parents or your grandparents, your uncle or your cousin, or maybe people who are younger than you, but they're still too, I don't know, arrogant maybe to take your advice or to even listen to you because they think you're some douchebag who thinks he's better than the rest or something. No, bro, you're just someone speaking from experience. Like, I've been there, this happened. I'm not trying to push you into anything. I'm just giving you the tools. I'm just giving you the information so you can count on this when you come across this circumstance or this point in life. Remember it, right? And of course, you don't have to take my word for it. My word is just one side of the coin because reality is an entirely subjective experience. So what for me was this way, for you might be a totally different way. We each have a very different path in life, but I think we all converge in one thing, which is the pursuit of excellence, fulfillment, responsibility, especially responsibility. You know, responsibility is one of those things that I don't think we can escape from. And that's the main issue that I was talking about, that there seems to be a lot of people out there who try to hide from their moral responsibilities, and that comes to bite them back in the ass later in life. And it's a shame that they didn't take action when they could have. And now they're just resentful and trying to embellish their failures in all sort of ways so people don't notice. It's pretty sad. So don't wait, guys. If there's something you can do about it right now, then it becomes your instant moral responsibility. So you gotta find a way to hold yourself accountable. Have that conversation with yourself the same way I reflected on myself back in 2017 when I had that time to spend on, like, I had nothing else, right? It was either music or that. And I chose that. I chose the self-dialogue, the conversation with the self. And trust me, you find out a lot of stuff when you truly commit to that conversation with yourself. When you start simply asking questions, like, why am I feeling like this? Why am I here? Why am I working at this place? Where am I going right now? Why am I doing that? These are questions that seem quite obvious and stupid to ask yourself, but trust me, if you keep pulling that thread, you will find a lot of answers. And the more you know yourself, the more you can rely on yourself, the more trustworthy you become, not only to yourself, but to the ones around you. And that's very important because you want your word to mean something. You want your word to be taken seriously. You don't want to be the guy that says, hey, I'm going to do this, and everybody laughs at you because they know you never keep your word. You want to be the guy that says, all right, this is what's going to happen. And then people go like, all right, so I guess that's happening because he said it and he always does what he says. That's the guy you want to be. So quit lying to yourselves, quit saying things you're not going to do, stay true to yourselves, mind your own business, and work very, very hard. That's it for today, guys. Now, thank you so much for watching. Let's keep learning, keep growing, keep improving. It's who we are. It's what we do. See you next time, guys.